2018 was my first full year of diving into anime with the intent of creating content about the medium. As a result, I nearly doubled my consumption from 2017. Between movies, OVAs, TV series, and so on, I watched 62 anime of 2017. Sometimes just an episode, other times the full show. Not including the top 20 videos, I made content about roughly a dozen of those. The latter number hasn't changed much for 2018, but the total anime has. Roughly 100. 100 anime watched, with the vast majority going uncovered. On a time management front and on a personal enjoyment one, I'm getting less out than I'm putting in. Some of this stems from the culture of the anime community. The notion that as a critic you need to watch a lot of anime isn't great. Same goes for video games. Roughly 70 new releases in a year like I once did for a small unpaid website is pretty absurd. Guilt fuels it all. When I miss out on a big discussion, not only do I feel left out, but inferior as a critic. It's why I finished God of War and Spider-Man, games I think are just okay. I did that to be a part of the discussion, or at least listen from an informed perspective, but I never really talked about those games outside of my roommates and a tweet or two. That doesn't seem worth it to me. If I start on the amount of bad to okay-ish anime that have left me feeling the same way just in the past 12 months, I'm liable to never shut up. This is propped up by communities who have always had gatekeeping issues. The truth is that even someone who watches 20 new anime a season or plays 50 new games a year and a critic are two different types of people. One is consuming as much as they can, the other is consuming as much as they can and then working on written reviews, video reviews, podcasts, op-eds, and so much else. Constantly thinking how consumption can transform to content. You watch a 12-episode anime and that costs you a little under 5 hours. I watch a dozen episode anime, and if I decide to make a video about it, there is an additional dozen or so hours added on, with rewatches, note-takings, writing a script, reworking that script several times, and then putting it all together in a video. It's work. Making videos is work, and to make a video I have to watch anime. That in turn makes watching anime work. As a small content creator, most of my feedback is rather positive and quite encouraging. Still, all it would take to see how pervasive this issue is by jumping over to my Be the Beginning video. One of my more watched outings and definitely a split reception. Many of the detractors claiming I should have watched the entire series before expressing my opinions. You know, despite clearly stating in the video itself that my thoughts were limited to a handful of episodes because I wasn't enjoying it. It's that whole 3-episode test bullshit. This happens all the goddamn time with AniTubers the second they mention they dropped a show because they weren't enjoying it. So much feedback amounts to your opinion doesn't count because you didn't force yourself through something you weren't enjoying, and I keep repeating not enjoying here because if you're not enjoying something, you shouldn't be spending time with it, which is seemingly a crazy thought for a lot of this community. In video games, this sentiment comes up anytime a reviewer mentions they didn't finish a game before publishing the review, or if they're just doing some sort of quick look where their opinions are negative. If my point isn't clear to you by now, then you're likely one of those stubborn people that leaves annoying comments. With 2019, I'd like to focus, to not watch 100 anime where nearly 60% never even get mentioned in a video and roughly 40% are unenjoyable. This means not watching 20 to 25 anime each season, but trying out 10 or so, then maybe checking out a few others that are being well received. This means I'll likely drop shows I'd be giving a 6 out of 10 on Mal. Not that a 6 is bad, just that with so many anime and other forms of media vying for my attention, a 6 just doesn't cut it anymore, in a world where there are countless 9s and 10s. And I've been missing out on so many of them because of this notion that I need to watch 100 anime in a year or I need to play 50 video games. But because of this focus on trying to watch so many anime this past year, I've missed out on a lot of games. And so much of Western television has gone untouched. There are books I'd really like to get around to reading and I just don't. In lieu of expending effort on things that don't bring me joy, I'll take my time to clear a backlog of anime that includes Legend of the Galactic Heroes, Revolutionary Girl Utena, portions of the Gundam franchise, and Paranoia Agent. I'll make videos about the old anime that I really love like Paprika, Welcome to the NHK, and Nana. I believe this will result in more passionate and ultimately better analysis, and I gotta say I'm damn excited in ways I don't get from watching a bunch of bad anime, playing mediocre popular games, or making videos about algorithm-friendly stuff that I think is just pretty good. I genuinely think that this next year is going to be a great one for this channel. By the way, I have a Patreon that would be super cool if you could give me any money, if you can afford it. So to lay out some more detailed plans, I'd like to do a few involved, potentially multi-video essays in the what is best style that I've been doing with the Devilman retrospective. Death Note, JoJo's, and Fullmetal Alchemist are some of the franchises on the docket. Additionally, I have a Why is Blank So Good style, which will be the aforementioned discussions on a singular older anime that I enjoy a whole lot, like Nana or Ping Pong the Animation. At the start of 2018, I made a few lists including a bunch of old anime that I wanted to watch for the first time. I got through like 5 out of 50 of those. This will at the very least lead to content in the bonus writings reward tier on my Patreon, but could result in a few videos as well. I'd also like to do a little more video game coverage on here. Nothing crazy, just occasionally streaming some games I should finally play or replay on this here YouTube channel. Also, I really would love to publish all the random thoughts I've been sporadically writing about Nier Automata for the past 12 months, and some other games as well, because video games are my favorite medium, and I've kind of just been containing most of my thoughts to myself. This is all ambitious. We creatives tend to overpromise and underdeliver. I likely won't get all of this done in the way I hope, but I'll take strides in doing so. Incremental improvement is all I can hope for. My channel has grown in a way that, grand scheme, not that big, but honestly I never expected to get past 100 subs. To those that have provided encouraging feedback, know that I am wholeheartedly humbled by this. I always say that I write for the moments where I praise a work and someone comes back to me with thanks that I've turned them on to such, that they love the art I've highlighted and empathize with my perspective on it. 2018 was a year, outside of this YouTube channel, kind of messy. But for this channel, you know, like I said, it's going better than I really ever expected it to, even if it's not a smash success. But this channel is growing, and so many of you have been far too encouraging. I like how I've progressed in terms of my video editing skills and just the general tone of my videos. I think I'm putting out better content, and I'm excited for my future. So to everyone who has even clicked on a video of mine and immediately exited out or left a negative comment, to those who have deemed me worth their time or money, thank you.